You can't fast forward next summer, though, Gab. They're not going to sign Jude Bellingham this summer, are they?
No, I'd be shocked if they did.
They have to.
Look, I mean, I think what you do is you make do with what you have. You try to get people fit. You see if maybe you can get some help in January. Like I've been going on about the midfield since Gini Wijnaldum left, and I don't think he's been replaced. You know, I take on board the point of the goals, but it's just those runs into midfield, those disruptive runs that he made back when he was at his best, and obviously he's been on the slide, and obviously now he's injured and he's even going to miss the World Cup and half the season. But I think that type of player is somebody that Liverpool just don't have anymore, and they certainly added quality with Thiago Alcantara. But again, with Thiago, you're talking about a guy who's not going to start every game simply because he's too fragile physically. So I think it is something in-house. They need to speak to the medical staff, and they need to really see where they are with the players that they have.
Stevie, you were frustrated at Trent Alexander-Arnold today. He could play in the midfield.
Well, I don't know about that because you've got a defender in there as well. Yeah, I mean, it's just, listen, I've said it before, Klopp, well, we're not telling Klopp anything he doesn't know. But what Klopp's doing is he's basically saying to himself, you know what, we get so much from this kid going forward that we're going to have to take on the chin what he doesn't have defensively. And that was okay when the other three were at the best. They made up for him. But now it's every game now. There's problems down that side, and they're finding it hard to cover for him now. Nobody's been able to cover for him because he can't do it. I mean, you saw his attempt to try and deal with a 1-2. I mean, there wasn't any commitment in it whatsoever. He jogged back into the middle of the park. Now, had he sprinted into the middle of the penalty box, I should say, he actually might have got a challenge on Sancho. But he didn't. He walked. Defending is not his forte. We know it. Klopp knows it. But Klopp is prepared to take the negative because of what he gets going forward.
But
I don't think Liverpool will panic, though.
Okay.
I don't think they're a club in recent years that will just panic. I don't think they'll sign anybody. I'd be surprised if they sign anybody. They've spent big on Nunez, obviously suspended. But I don't think they'll go out and start panic buying. That's not the way they've done their business in recent years. Go back to the midfielders. It's not the lack of midfielders. They've got plenty of midfielders, but most of them do the same thing. They play behind the ball. I mean, when Thiago comes back, he's a little magician on the ball. He's great on it, but he plays behind the ball all the time. You rarely see him getting advanced, and what Gab was talking about with Wijnaldum, getting into the box. These guys that run into the box, the goals from midfield are invaluable. Go back to a couple of the best midfielders in their time in England, and Gerrard and Lampard. You know, Gerrard was a bit more of an all-rounder. Lampard, though, they just goals and goals and goals. And when Drogba or somebody else, it wasn't happening for them. Bang, midfield, win the game. Couple of goals, 15 a season, whatever it was. And when you don't get that, it puts more pressure on Mo Salah. It's more pressure on Luis Diaz now. There's no Sadio Mane to lean on. Nunez should be ready, and obviously he's going to have to control his emotions. So the balance should be better, but it's still putting pressure on those three. And Mo Salah has, and he didn't have a good game, but he got a goal. He's carried that burden along with Mane for a while now. It's difficult to keep doing that. And it's difficult for Luis Diaz, as good as he is, and he came in with a real fanfare, pyrotechnics, everything. Oh, this is amazing. Carry the can for a full year. That's what these guys at Liverpool have been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. That's when we're going to find out about them. But I don't think Klopp will... I get what Don's saying. Bellingham's a terrific young player, and there are others out there. I just don't think Liverpool will go, oh, man, it was a terrible start to the season. Let's go and spend 100 million. I just don't think that's the way they do their business.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.